Good morning, day 661. Since 50 hostages have been brutally, barbarically, violently, and inhumanely were kidnapped to the hellhole Gaza by the inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis, monsters, and liars of Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Mujahideen Brigade, UNRWA, the UN, they're all together, they're the same. Also Al Jazeera, funded, supported by Iran, Qatar, and Egypt. We are here every morning, never giving up until all of them will be back home, to call for Hamas to surrender and let all 50 hostages go immediately, at once. One phase, one bus. All of them together, no one is left behind, and Israel should give up fucking nothing. This is the only thing we accept, other than Israel going full force, taking over Gaza and forcing Hamas to evaporate it from their face, eradicated from the face of the earth. Yesterday, I was in an event, I was speaking at an event, and I of course, as I do in every opportunity I have, I said and noted that there are still 50 hostages held in Gaza, and said it was 660 days. People were surprised. People are, 50? They don't even know. The hostages are not at the top of the headline. At the top of the headline, you have manipulated photos of sick children who have disease, who have muscles disease that they're claiming they are starving, which they're not. The New York Times and BBC and other mainstream Western media is joining Hamas with their lies and propaganda to smear Israel, to contribute more to anti-Semitism, to cause more people to blame the Jews, hate the Jews, instead of calling for the release of the hostages and highlighting the fact that there are still hostages, 50 of them. 2 of them are American Israelis, Omer Neutral and Itai Chen, who are known, according to intelligence information, to not be alive. We demand all of the 50 hostages. We demand pressure on Hamas to let the hostages go. When that would happen and Hamas surrender, because they must surrender, then the war and the suffering can be finally fucking over. But people are pressuring Israel to end the war. That's not gonna happen. Israel will not surrender to its death. As much as you want us to, as much as you want us to be dead, we will not do that. Senator Lindsey Graham was asked about what does Trump mean, but just go and do it, or when he tells Bibi and Israel finish the job, what does he mean? Let's listen to the answer.
I think President Trump has come to believe, and I certainly have come to believe, there's no way you're going to negotiate an end to this war with Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization who is chartered to destroy the state of Israel. They're religious Nazis. They hold Israeli hostages. I think Israel's come to conclude that they can't achieve a goal of ending the war with Hamas that would be satisfactory to the safety of Israel, and if they're going to do in Gaza what we did in Tokyo and Berlin, take the place by force, then start over again, presenting a better future for the Palestinians, hopefully having the Arabs take over the West Bank and Gaza. But I think going forward, Christian, you're going to see a change in tactics, a full military effort by Israel to take Gaza down like we did in Tokyo and Berlin.
This is what we need. Same as we eradicated the Nazis and the ideology for the most part. Of course, now they're rising again. Now they feel emboldened to state the Jew hatred again and the intentions to annihilate of Israel. The same we did in Berlin and in Tokyo. We put so much force down that they had no other choice but surrender. Surrender with the intentions and the ideology, and that's what needs to happen in Gaza. There's no future for Gazans and for Israelis if Hamas stays in power. If Gaza continues to be a terror hub, it's not gonna work. We've been doing this for decades, and it's time to end this cycle of death and destruction. Israel have been a country that thrive for peace, and it's proven. For all of you who keep saying that it's an occupation in 77 years, for this length of time, Israel continuously offered land and other initiative in order to sign peace agreements, in order to have diplomatic relationship with its neighbors. We're doing whatever we can to just live peacefully. We want to live peacefully. We don't want to take anyone's land. We just came back home ancestral homeland Israel in order to live, to survive. Because what happened to us in Europe and in Middle Eastern countries, in Arab countries, like where my grandma was from, Kurdish from Iraq, and many Jews came from Morocco, from Libya, from Tunisia, from Yemen, from Iraq, from Iran, and the list goes on and on and on. Those Jews who are not European and not originally from fucking Poland were persecuted, were hated by those blood labels about the Jews. Same blood labels that New York Times is spreading right now. We are doing a full circle as if we do it every generation. We are in this situation again. The whole Jewish calendar is full of holidays when people try, monsters, inhumane monsters, barbaric monsters have tried to annihilate us. They failed, and then we celebrate a holiday. We drinking wine and eating a feast in order to celebrate our victory, our survival story, miraculous stories of survival again, and again. And then in our most recent memory in history, 80 years ago in the Holocaust, that was the last attempt of a generation of annihilation. As we sing in Passover, every generation they come in to annihilate us, but then God save us from their hands. This is right now, what we're seeing right now. This is the attempt, our generation's attempt of annihilation. We are standing strong and proud and resilient, and we're never gonna let it happen. When we said never again, we meant it. October 7th was the wake-up call that it is this time of the generation to fight the attempt of annihilation, and we will do it with whatever means necessary, and we don't give a fuck about a bad image. You can continue to say the lies about us. We will continue exposing the truth and stand for the truth, and we'll continue to do the right thing, and we will continue to survive and thrive and living proudly in our ancestral homeland, Israel, between the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Am Israel forever be. We will continue to be the immortal nation that we are. Am Israel Chai forever.